Demonic Angel. Sorry, I have been gone for a few weeks. Family emergency, actually, one right after another. A family member who had cancer took a turn for the worse, and we just went out of state for a while to be with the other family members and support them, and I just didn't bring my recording stuff, so I spent a few weeks just doing that and caught up on some homework so I could have more time for this instead. It was really interesting to just kind of step away, I guess, for a second. And I still had my tarot cards with me. And I just kind of disconnected, I guess, in a way, and just felt the cards. I sat outside in the rain on the porch a few nights, and I just, would look at like a card for like a couple of hours, just really thinking about all the different interpretations and meanings and experiences and the ways I connect the cards with people, how special it really is to me. So, I'm back. I do apologize. I will be getting back onto the Patreon thing, and I'll kind of discuss that at the end. But, I'm back. So I'm going to do a couple tarot videos, and then I'm going to, I've got plenty of other magical subjects in store. So, yeah, while I finish unpacking. Today is going to be the 8 of Wands. And this is the only card in the Rider-Waite deck that doesn't have any part of a human. At least, on the aces, we have the hand, reaching out. So it's still a human hand. So we have humans in every card except this. To me, I kind of like to think of that as taking like a rational approach to sorting out all the different ideas and aspects of your life. So, really being able to, even if you base a decision, in emotion, somewhat, of course, to just really be able to say, well, logically, how could I break this down? And there's a lot that does. It really it provides justifications for things, and it really kind of helps shape your beliefs when you so there's a lot that is calling for rationality. The planet associated with this card is Mercury, communication. So swift communication, ideas. Of course, when communication goes well, all flows together, and that's kind of the we have those two elements again, the emotional waters. We have the little river down here, so there's always the emotional, intuitive aspect at play. But it's like the river is flowing, and then we have the 8 wands, and they're all flowing, they're all going in the same direction. So this is really a card also about harmony, having all these different aspects and ideas, being in harmony with nature, reality, as we talk about all the time, with the idea of Hozo, harmony, that if something is amiss, if something is going against nature, then there's some kind of illness, there's some kind of misfortune, health issue that's going to follow that chain reaction, and that everything has a chemical, has a spiritual, and a physical, etc. reaction. that has to all flow together to make essentially reality. So that is really just being in tune with nature, that really intuitive aspect. Yet we have, this it's almost like dominantly a logical, rational, maybe even masculine card, because every time we see wands, I think that we understand the representation that it's like phalluses, so that and the little what the heck are they called again? Oh my God, the little sprouts here, they're fertility, the fertility of imagination, ideas, coming in, manifesting in reality though. So because there's this communication that flows, that everything is kind of open, I would say. Like, this is definitely, if we could really just take the Eight of Wands here and like talk about it as a card, this is really a person's 30s really in their life, because it's kind of this time where all these different busy things are happening. When we're younger, it seems like time goes by a lot slower because, of course, think about it, you don't have kids. You really don't have as many responsibilities, probably not super tied into a job, and you don't have the stress of providing for others, different kinds of aspects like that really make a person an adult. So but as we take these responsibilities on, as we start to age, we start to pay our own bills, and all those, and then all of a sudden you're married and you have kids, and then you got this high-paying job that you're tied to because it helps you afford your luxuries, your desires. So, but one of the things that kind of comes with that is it really feels like time just goes by so fast, because you've got, okay, now I'm going to tend to what my kids are doing, what do I like to do, okay, family members, running around, and there's not a lot of sitting down and just nothing happening, and even though, of course, teenagers are exciting and usually have a lot happening, this is this more of a responsibility, manifestation kind of feel to it. So it really is, hey, this is your 30s, because it's like that's the first time in your life that you realize that time flies by. 3 years will be like, hey, was that last month? Because you're just so involved in all these different things that you're not really sitting, so you don't have that later in life as you get older and kids move away. You can go live in cheaper old people housing, collecting monetary benefits for aging and employment history. Then you can sit and you could think. That does a lot to different people, but that's that idea. And in this case, though, this is not a bad thing. This is like, hey, this is supposed to happen to you because we got this. I mean, it's pretty green. It's pretty green landscape. There's a little bit of yellow. But it's got like a feeling. It's like this is a landscape with a story, different energies. It's seen many kind of seasons. This is almost indicative of like seasonal changes. And we have a little house or castle, or you can't really make out the details too much. It looks like a tall building, whatever it is, up on the hill. And it's kind of, to me, this is like, this is seeing things from a whole new perspective. It's really part of why, we came here as people. This is a huge, wonderful step on the path of individuation to just experience that, hey, you know, that responsibilities and aging, they really just make you have this different perspective. And it's part of becoming. And a lot of beauty comes in that when you have that routine of rising to a challenge and, you know, really just being able to function in all these different aspects of your adult life. And it really is a, you know, like I said, having those achievements that somebody around that age typically would. There's really no age limits. I'm just giving you a kind of example here that it's really that important. It's an important thing to just have that busy part of you. And when it all flows together, you know, you can have energy, invest energy in all of it. Like, you have the energy to, you know, be involved with your kids, to, you know, be dating your spouse, traveling, you know, and then, but when you have to work, even if you know, had a weekend of partying, this is the kind of, you know, energy that's, I'm still going to go to work on time. You know, I don't care how bad I feel, and I am going to attend to my responsibilities. I will manifest that money. I will manifest providing. I will manifest acceptance of my responsibilities by, you know, rising to the occasion and, you know, just, I mean, being part of that mundane part of you. But it's so special and beautiful at the same time that where would we be without that part? This really important step that's like a rite of passage, you know, just like you know, getting a driver's license, and, you know, somebody's having their first menstrual period. Those kinds of teenage rites of passage mentally, and then you know, this is another one. They don't just kind of end so much at one or two rites of passage. I kind of see patterns in a lot of different aspects like that. So that's all flowing together upright. Reversed, we definitely have the one kind of I think interpretation I've done a few times with people is that consciously somebody is realizing that, you know, they don't have enough time for all this stuff, and they, you know, have chosen to kind of step away, maybe chosen to accept a lower paying job, you know, so that they can have more time for themselves, just to, you know, get some of the mental pressure down, to kind of take a step back, you know, to make, you know, feeling this unalignment of ideas because they simply, like, don't have time with what, you know, what's going on. Where's the mismatch with harmony? And so by looking at it and thinking about taking a step back, and kind of walking away for a time for a couple of these wands, then we have that that chance to kind of clear one's mind, because this is all about communication. So, you know, after a rest, I mean, people come back into what they like, and they've got that energy for it. We see that definitely. But otherwise, this is really just like, you know, having that whole experience we talked about, like you're having the mundane happen to you in your 30s and you're just a normal person. But what happens is that, you know, it's really not a job you like, let's say, that you're so tied to. But I mean, it is how you afford your luxury, right? But you hate it. You hate it, and over a period of like years or something, it grows the feeling of you know, the feeling of kind of anger, of the disillusionment, just really the disillusionment just settling. Because if you're not happy, you know, your soul is really going to is going to let you know by that feeling that you can lie to other people, oh yeah, I love it, but you know that when you go home at night, you're like, I hate it. And there's really not a whole lot of feeling like you can walk away from it. So it's like, too bad I don't like it. I'm going to suck it up and continue doing it. But the longer it happens, then the more callous a person can become and just kind of feel jaded and, really detached, emotionally detached from being, forced into this kind of mundane existence. And so there's really not that, hey, this is a great emotional experience and I'm working with my spouse, my family, we're all teammates, we work together to accomplish the smooth flow of reality and the mundane functioning and going forward, so that everybody has a harmony, has a good diet, care about each other and all that, and make time. This is like, none of that matters to this kind of a person, this kind of energy. It's, I really just don't like parts of my life. And so then we get like people having kind of secret, parts of their life, and really just kind of psychologically disassociating, branching off, and, creating fantasies, really, and addictions to cope with, like, the numbness of really not wanting to be in this place. Because, in order to be in this place, really liking that mundane life of family, really, and that kind of time, you have to want it. It can't just be going through the motions, because then you're denying a part of yourself and the all those things that follow when we just lie to ourselves, that this is what I want to do, but really you don't. And I like, this is this is a reminder from tarot that if you really don't want to be in that job, that relationship, of course, you have kids, you have that responsibility now. But if you don't want something, it's okay. You can find something else to do. You can be somebody different. You can completely, find new friendships, lovers, attachments, hobbies, and interests, and live your life your own way on your own terms, and be completely happy when you're living your life the way that you really feel that you should be doing. And a happiness that comes deeply from that is something that really has to be experienced by mindfulness and wanting, wanting to have that, being able to look at oneself and say, do you really want it? Because it's okay to not want to be in that place. But these ideas, that they're just coming together, and it kind of goes one of those two ways. So, yeah, anyway, I thank you for listening to my tarot ramblings today. I'm like still unpacking this stuff a little bit. My links to my Patreon are in the description below, and I will be doing all the stuff for August, even starting now, and I'll get the extra bonus content posted in the next couple days. And if you have emailed me over the last month, I'll get back to you in the last few days. Also, like, if I watch your channel, I'll check out some more of your videos, get caught up, and let you know what I think. So yeah, I don't monetize here on YouTube, so if you do want to support me, you can go check out my Patreon and get some bonus content. Otherwise, you know, we'll do a couple more tarot card videos, even though there really aren't many left, but I just love profiling all of them. So, you know, fun stuff that's different in a couple videos. So I'll talk to you guys later.